Hey, this is Daz from the Frugal Gamer website and I'm back with another video, and this time I'm going to be checking out this wired controller for the Nintendo Switch. This is called the Afterglow Deluxe Plus Audio Wired Controller and it's made by a company called PDP. It's an officially licensed product that can be picked up for around the £25 mark, and there's also a wireless version available for £45. The audio part of the name refers to the fact that this is one of the few Nintendo Switch controllers that you're able to plug headphones into via its 3.5mm audio jack, and this is a feature that's not even included on Nintendo's very own Pro Controller. The controller comes with a 10-foot long micro USB cable that will need to be plugged into the Nintendo Switch dock, and I'm really glad PDP went for a detachable cable rather than giving it one that's built into the controller. The first thing that you notice about the controller is the fact that it's constructed from a hard, fully transparent plastic that allows you to see all the internal components, which is really cool. As for the shape, it's pretty much identical to the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller, but in my opinion this one looks way cooler. And one other difference you'll notice is that when you look at the back of the controller, there's actually a couple of programmable back buttons. And before we get to look at more elements of this controller, I want to talk about what things it doesn't have. There are a few features that you won't find on the controller, and that is a rumble feature and motion control. So if these are important to you, you may want to look at another controller. But now let's take a look at this controller's party piece. It's time to put on your dancing shoes as the Afterglow Disco has just hit town. The light show is provided by 4 internal LED lights, and when these are turned up to the max they're really bright, especially when you're playing in the dark. These lights are customizable, and all you need to do is hold down the function button and click the right or left bumper button to scroll through the various lighting modes. With mode 1, the LEDs are set to a single colour. In mode 2, the LEDs fade in and out of your selected colour. In mode 3, the LEDs will cycle through all the available colours. And in the fourth and final mode, the LEDs react to the movement of the thumbsticks, and when you're playing a game like Bulletstorm or Doom, this makes the LEDs go absolutely crazy. You can adjust the brightness of the lights by holding down the function button and tapping the ZR or ZL buttons to increase or decrease the brightness of the LEDs, and you can hold the function button and press right or left on the D-pad to scroll through the different colours. And don't forget, you've also got the 3.5mm audio jack, so you can use your headphones on this controller. And you can adjust the volume by holding the function button and pressing up and down on the D-pad. Just tap the function button twice to mute the microphone, and then hit it twice again to take it off mute. And when it is muted, the function button will become illuminated, which is a great way of letting you know that nobody can hear you. PDP have gone for the staggered thumbstick design, like that on the official Pro Controller. The thumbsticks are a little bit longer than that on the official version, and they have a slightly smaller grip at the top. The stems are constructed from a hard plastic, and the thumb grips at the top are finished in rubber. They have a good range of motion and feel nice and springy. Their response times are good, and they give a satisfying click when pressed in, and control of whatever is on the screen feels accurate and well timed, and I haven't encountered any lag. The buttons have a traditional Switch layout and are marked X, Y, B and A, and they feel really nice when pressed. Presses are registered instantly with no lag, and I actually prefer these buttons to that on the official Pro Controller. The home button and all the other function buttons are decent enough too, and there's not really much you can say about those. But the D-pad is usually something I gripe about on cheaper controllers, and although this one is not as good as the one on the official Nintendo Switch Pro controller, it is better than most of the other controllers I've tested in this price range. It done a perfectly good job when I tried it on Tetris style games and fighting games where use of the D-pad is more common. When it comes to the triggers, the R and L bumper buttons feel a little bit soft when you press them. They do a good job, but I was a little bit disappointed. And the main ZR and ZL triggers are nice feeling and have a very small amount of travel, a bit like they have trigger stops built in. This isn't the case, it's just the way the triggers are designed, and they have a slightly curved design which feels very comfortable when you're resting your fingers on them. Like I said earlier, I tested this controller while playing Bulletstorm and Doom, and all my shots were well timed, and I'm impressed by the triggers overall. I love the addition of these back buttons, and they come in so handy when you're playing shooting games. They do a great job and are very well situated, and for me they just add to the overall value for money of this controller. The back buttons can be programmed by holding down the function button and pressing the back button that you wish to map the function to. The function button will start to flash to indicate that it's in setup mode. Then all you do is press the button that you wish to map to that back button, and the function button will flash 3 times to let you know that this has been successful. So overall, I think the Afterglow Deluxe Plus audio wired controller is a really cool gamepad for £25, and I think it's well worth the money. Yes, it may be missing rumble and motion control, but it makes up for it with the addition of the lights, the audio jack and the back buttons. And if you want a pro style Nintendo Switch controller without spending crazy money, then this would be a really good choice. And if you're interested in picking one up, I'll leave a link in the description box below. Thanks for checking out this video, and please take a look at our channel and maybe even subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also visit our website where we list the best video game deals from over 100 retailers. Check it out and never pay full price again.